I'm your host, Madrina LEAP, and welcome to Rolling with Madrina. I'm a community service organizer, motivational speaker, and an advocate for the people. I am living proof that your struggle can be your story and your trauma can be your triumph. I've dedicated my life to giving back, and I want you to roll with me while I speak with those in our community who are doing what they do best. Now watch and listen for what you can do to join their cause. Aloha, and thank you for watching Rolling with Madrina. I'm your host, Madrina LEAP, and I'm coming to you from downtown Pensacola from the Blab TV studios, which has been my home for this show for I'm starting my 7th year. You've seen in the last couple of weeks, I debuted a new backdrop that you'll see again today. And today, I have some legendary guests with me. I'm talking about a brother and a sister that are in the legendary Leapers class of 2024 with me. Bam, look at that. Whoop, whoop. This is my friend Mike White and my other friend Kayla Stanley, and together we are part of the fundraising committee for Leadership Pensacola 2024. What is Leadership Pensacola? I'm so glad you asked, and I don't quite yet have the mission statement memorized, so I'm going to read it to you because it's such an honor to be part of Leadership Pensacola. This last class had 420 some odd applicants. 50 were picked, and you're looking at 3 of the legendary leapers right here. So it's something that we're certainly proud to be part of. We kicked this off back in October.
I think it was August.
Even
August,
earlier.
August, I think.
August of 2023. We were locked in at a simulated society called SimSoc in October. That was life-changing. People say it's life-changing. You don't really know how life-changing it is, I think, until you step away and come back and you think about what all happened that day. And mostly the relationships that were built. If any one of my legendary Leaper class members called me, I will answer. And here's the mission of Leadership Pensacola, known as LEAP. A program of the Pensacola Chamber Foundation aims to develop a pool of qualified, highly motivated individuals. LEAP is designed to help participants acquire an understanding of the issues facing the Pensacola area and gain the leadership skills necessary to resolve them. Candidates sought come from a cross-section of the community, men and women from different political, career, educational, and social backgrounds. Anything else y'all want to add to that on LEAP?
I think that sums it up really well.
Yeah, sums it up pretty well. I mean, just a large group of folks that are extremely motivated and just looking for that next step forward.
Yeah, and also they break us down. We went to the retreat at the beach.
Yes.
They kind of help you get in touch with yourself and who you are and find that raw you. And we may have held hands and hugged and cried and shed a few tears. We even did a couple of skits. We got Sandy. We did challenges, and we're forever bonded. And so what I have Kayla and Mike here to talk to you about is each year when those special people are chosen for the Leadership Pensacola class, that class engages in so many different aspects of the community. We got to go to the courthouse and the commissioners and so many different places just to learn about the infrastructure of our community and how our city operates. And we also get to adopt a class project where the members of the leadership class for that year will raise money. We're counting on you, and we will implement a project. But first, I would love for Mike and Kayla, who've taken the time to be here today, to share a little bit about what do you do personally? Who are you?
Absolutely. So I work with Torgerson Causey Insurance and Benefits. We are a full-service benefits brokerage. We do employee benefits, but we also do individual health insurance as well. We are a Florida Blue agency, so we only work with Florida Blue, but I wouldn't personally have it any other way. But we just got out of open enrollment, but there are options available for anybody that's looking for health insurance still. So if you need anything, give me a call.
When's the best time for someone to start looking for insurance? I know you mentioned an enrollment period.
Yep, best time to start looking for health insurance is beginning of October, beginning of November, just depending on what you might qualify for. But we are well versed in that stuff, so give us a call and we can help you kind of walk through that and figure out what is available to you.
That's one thing I've always actually wondered, and I don't mean to stump you, is why is there an enrollment period? Why can't you just get it all year round, like you do auto insurance or anything else?
Well, there are ways to get it year round. They're called special election periods or special enrollment periods, just depending on, you might have moved, you might have lost coverage from an employer. Those are also ways that you can qualify throughout the year, but this gives everybody one equal opportunity to get in and get health insurance.
You had a dramatic change in your life in the last several months.
Oh, yeah. I was like, huh. I was like, what is that?
New
But
baby daddy. You're a girl dad?
Girl dad. Yep.
Girl
She
dad?
is 7 months this week.
7 months.
7 months this week, yeah.
Very nice.
Time is flying.
Yeah.
And I remember when we first showed up to the LEAP orientation, she was just 2 weeks old at that point.
Look at that.
And it's just crazy how time flies.
She's a legendary baby.
She's a legendary baby.
And the reason why I'm using the word legendary, each class sort of adopts their own
Mantra.
Catchphrase,
hashtag, if you will. And I think I came out right away at UWF when we were in the woods sweating about being legendary, and somehow it's just stuck. And, but we are legends, and we are trailblazing, and we're doing some great things. And one of
Absolutely.
them is part of this project, which you'll learn more. But Kayla, what do you do during the day?
I actually work for UWF. I am the Assistant Director of Alumni Engagement and Development. That's the long title. The short title would be Assistant Director in Alumni Relations. Namely, my job is to engage all UWF alumni. So anybody that's out here that wants to learn more information about the university, is interested in giving back at the university, participating in events, they would come talk to me.
Yeah. And probably there's, do you have a number on how many alumni are in the area?
I do.
She does?
We actually just graduated our 100,000th alumni this past fall ceremony. So that's actually huge for a university that of UWF size.
Are
It was
you
a big
communicating
milestone.
with all of them?
All of them that have elected to communicate with us, yes.
That's a big job. That
Yes.
is a lot.
Yes, we are a small team. I'm going to brag on them a little bit.
Go
We are
ahead.
a small team of 4, and we are small but mighty. So we do cover, like I said, over 100,000 alum with different chapters across the country on a regular basis. That's the main facet of our job.
Different chapters across the country that are alumni of RUWF?
Of RUWF.
What requires a chapter out of the country? There's that many transplants in that community?
Yes, we have a system where I can look up and see how many alumni live there, and basically all somebody has to do is reach out and say, hey, I'm interested in starting a chapter here, and I give them all the tools they need to get started. Our biggest alumni presence, one of our biggest alumni presence outside of Pensacola, is actually Jacksonville and Tampa. We have a very active alumni chapter in Tampa that's
Like Argo
super,
Nation or something
yes,
down
like
there?
super engaged. There's a lot of
Wow.
athletic alumni down there. That was the big pool. But I recently just got back from a conference in Tampa, and I was able to take our alumni chapter leader out to dinner. He's a wonderful volunteer, and that's where a lot of our alumni are concentrated.
Very
So,
cool. I did not know that.
Yeah.
And I know we're here in mid-February now, and then just next month, and just another quick plug for UWF, you have the Women's Conference that I'm going
do.
to. My sister Tia's on the panel, and my friend Dannon Bird, my sister Dannon is. I was last year. Loved the conference, just got hooked up with the ticket. So do you want to give a little elevator speech on the conference?
I started to say I can't. It is sold out, and I know there
Virtual.
are wait lists on wait lists, but we were actually in a meeting this morning, and a colleague of mine that always attends virtually spoke volumes about how wonderful the virtual options were. So I would encourage you to go online at uwf.edu, and if you type in Women in Leadership Conference, it'll pull up the URL and everything that anybody needs to know.
You want to drop a few bombs on us of what we're going to learn?
I wish I could, but honestly, I don't know. They are keeping us in the dark until closer to time. My colleague and supervisor, Robin Zimmerman, is really heading up that conference, so I know she has a wonderful slate planned.
Yeah, and actually, if you go to that website, it'll tell you some of the speakers that are going to be lined up there. But thank you for sharing that. And through actually Leadership Pensacola and my involvement through the chamber, I am learning just how widespread the reach of UWF is. So, sis, you are not only part of the leadership class, but you're also a volunteer for the organization that we chose. We had several nonprofits come in and present an idea, a project to receive a grant from us. And several came through and spoke, and we chose this particular organization, and now we're moving forward with doing the project. tell everybody what we're doing and who we're doing it for.
Okay, well, as you know, Madrina, our class project recipient is Valerie's House of Pensacola. Valerie's House is an organization that initially started in South Florida, and their Pensacola chapter is fairly new, and their executive director, Krista Brandt, has done a fantastic job about getting this organization off the ground. They were mainly established to provide grief support for children and their families in the community. Many times children that are involved with Valerie's House are between the ages of 5 and 18. So it's a wonderful organization to have in the community with us. It's a new one. It's the only one of its kind. That is one of the reasons why we as a class chose it as our class project, because it is unique. As I'm sure you all know, there are so many deserving nonprofits in this community, but Valerie's House really stuck out to us. And as far as volunteering goes, I've been volunteering with Valerie's House for close to, going on 6 months now.
Wow.
And they host group nights, 2 nights a week. Tuesdays and Thursdays are when the big groups come to meet, but families, kids, they all come to the house, they get fed, and then we break off and we participate in what's called, group support. It's not formal therapy, but group support, and just a way to heal and grow and, really connect with people who'd been through the same experience that you have, because as you can imagine, as a child, losing a parent would be devastating, and it's something that's not necessarily the norm, so to speak. So for children, especially the ages of 5 to 18, to have that is pretty phenomenal. So we're happy to support them.
Yeah, and Valerie's House, and some of you that don't know, like she said, it's relatively new. They were just recently put on the map by winning an Impact 100 grant to redo their, to the tune of $100,000 plus and do an interior kitchen. And the project that we'll lay out here for you more, it will be to elevate their outdoor space. The home, it's a beautiful historic home behind Krispy Kreme on Gadsden. I think it was gifted, or I don't know if gifted, donated, endowed upon from the Chadbourne Family Foundation. And so now the leadership class, Leadership Pensacola class of 2024 is taking them under our wings, and we've been meeting with them extensively over the last few months. And when we come back from this short break, we're going to tell you all about our project and ways that we need you. Thank you.
Do you want to create but don't know where to start? Our new fabric line will inspire you. If you can dream it, we can help you make it. From using kits that include everything you would need, to taking classes to create something more personalized, Daryl's is the place for you. No matter if you're just beginning or experienced, Daryl's has you covered. Find us at 6705 North Davis Highway, open 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturdays.
You think getting dumped by text is harsh? Try getting dumped by a tennis ball. My ex-owner drove me out to the woods, yelled fetch, and by the time I brought the ball back, he was gone. Yeah, I was pissed. But the folks at the shelter helped me let go of my anger. I learned coping skills, like taking it to the hole. Boom! Now I'm ready to fetch again. But how about I throw and you run and get it?
Hi, I'm Madrina. Be a mover and shaker in our community by helping others overcome problems ranging from health to substance abuse, from personal safety to neighborhood issues, from taking care of your kids to taking care of your parents. Come on our show and tell people how you did it. Be a community hero and watch Rolling with Madrina, Thursday nights at 8:30, only on Blab TV.
What do an aerospace engineer, cancer immunologist, and bat scientist all have in common? We all have cool jobs in STEM fields. Whether it's building robots or learning to code, girls everywhere are finding their passion for science, technology, engineering, and math through positive role models and mentors. So dare to dive in, get connected, and explore. You never know what your future may hold. Learn more about these and even more cool jobs at SheCanSTEM.com.
Welcome back to Rolling with Madrina. I'm your host, Madrina Ciano, and I'm here with legendary leapers, Mike White and Kayla Stanley. We're talking to you about our class project, Valerie's House, and that we selected them to be our class project, and we're going to tell you about that project. But first, we got to go out and visit Valerie's House as a group, as a fundraising committee. And Mike, you went. What does Valerie's House look like?
Yeah, so in typical East Hill fashion, just a beautiful old home.
Yeah.
You walk in, super cozy, super warm, really geared toward the kids. Lots of stuffed animals, lots of books, lots of just cozy places for them to just hang out and be kids. And then you look over and you see on the wall the photos of the parents and the siblings that have been lost over time, and you know deep down that they're obviously dealing with some pain. But then you walk to the back in the kitchen, and you know, they get all the food together, and we start helping to serve the food, and they're happy to be together and happy to spend that time together. And then you go outside, you spend time with the kids, and the kids are all running around in the yard, but I mean, there's a basketball that we're using as a soccer ball. So it was at that point that we kind of realized that that's what we wanted to do, was for those kids, make that backyard space something that they could really enjoy. So there's a lot that we've been working on to put together, ideas that we've come up with to really make that space a lot more enjoyable, not only for them, but for the adults as well.
That's a great description. And one thing I was going to say is, you know, they use at Valerie's House what is called peer-to-peer counseling. Maybe it's a little bit different than what clinical programming and counseling is, but the programming is not just pulled out of the air. There's science, there's research, there's metrics to it. But to touch on what Mike said, when you see the family sitting together and that child knows that boy across from him's going through what I'm going through, there's something about that common bond that's powerful, right? Kayla, you witness it when you're there.
Yes, as I mentioned, I'm a group volunteer, but I see it very often, and there is something very powerful to see kids open up to other kids like them, and where they can share, oh, maybe I lost my mom or I lost my dad. And it's interesting because we do get lesson plans, for lack of a better term. To your point, there's science behind it, but we get those prior to, so we can get everything set up. But it's something as simple as drawing a picture can open floodgates and really start a conversation, and that's really the beauty in what Valerie's House does.
Have you experienced that firsthand?
I have. There have been a couple, I call them kiddos, but there have been a couple of my little kiddos that have caught me off guard with their forwardness about their experience. But then just, it's kind of hard to describe, but to be able to know that I'd been where they are, but to see them be so open about it and so mature at such a young age too, it's really astounding.
So the outside, it's what now? A fence? What's there now, brother?
There's a fence, there's some old grass, there's some palm trees, there's a basketball that they kick around, and that's really it.
And that's it, a cement slab that's undervalued, the smells of Krispy Kreme donuts coming over the fence. Occasionally the ball would fly over, then you're in the drive-thru at Krispy Kreme trying to not get a donut but just get the ball. Like, it was a whole situation. And so even though Mike painted a beautiful picture of what it looked like on the inside, they do have some real estate on the outside that could be utilized and take in the sunshine and maybe have some activities out there. And so what is it that we're going to do? What's the name of our project, Kayla?
Our project is called Leap Outside. So we are very excited to make the outside match the inside.
Yeah, and we've had committees. We have a fundraising committee. That's us plus 8 more legendary fundraisers. There's a logistics committee that has been doing the due diligence on what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, what it costs, the right-of-ways, the easements, all of that.
Yeah.
A marketing committee, you'll be seeing the graphics put up here on your screen that are promoting all of that, and our ask letters to our sponsors and our sponsorship levels. We have an events committee that's trying to get us out there in the community so that you can learn more about this project. And I'm sure there's more outreach. But together, 50 of us are working on this project, to what we're calling Leap Outside. and we voted on some elements. Who's going to talk about the elements of what we're doing?
Okay,
You remember?
yeah, certainly.
Go ahead, Mike.
So we've got a lot of stuff that we really want to do for these kids. I mean, we're talking about
We want to fly to the moon and a space
Oh, yeah.
shuttle,
Oh, yeah.
all the things we want to do.
Yep, absolutely. But we've got an outdoor space where there may be potential for movie nights. Looking at kind of like built-in reading nooks into the fence areas. Some updated lighting.
Yeah.
Some astroturf.
Sexy lighting. It makes it so nice. I mean,
Absolutely.
lighting can really change an environment. It just goes from bare to stark to, ooh, moonlighting. Now I'm
Yeah.
feeling excited.
Absolutely. There's a lot of stuff that we're planning on doing that's really going to update this space, give it a brand new look. And at face value, it seems like it may be a little much for these kids, but I think back to when Krista first came to present on the project and talking about the long-term impact this has on children, allowing them a healthy outlet to really kind of reflect on how this is impacting them regularly, allows them moving forward to say, okay, well, this doesn't affect who I am moving forward. It allows them to move on in life and continue to mourn properly, but also to remember and not necessarily let that bring them down.
Yeah. And to have a space where they can go and feel safe and it feel inviting and welcoming. What else, sis, about the project? And I'm going to pull up some sponsorship levels. We're going to get them up on the screen, but I can't read them on the screen. I have to read them here. What else, sis?
Well, I think you really hit all the high points. Some of the things we are doing, the aesthetic things, but also we are looking at making this space sustainable for the long term as well. We want to make it easy for Krista and the rest of Valerie's House staff to make this enjoyable for the family. So we're looking at potential astroturf, irrigation, and at the end of the day, it's a construction project.
Right, it is.
So
You're
all
right.
of those things come into play as well. And I will give props to our logistics committee for really handling the bulk of that.
Yeah.
They're the big project managers and really sort of, even though we're raising the money, they're the heavy lifters as far as the planning goes.
Yeah, I was real impressed when we went to our retreat the other day, and they had pictures of lighting options and teepees and seating and pavers, and they really had done their due diligence. And a couple of things that stood out to me is, one, Lowe's. Lowe's seems to be very excited and on board and has provided ideas, and I think are going to help with some of the costs and whatnot. So I don't know if there's a specific location of Lowe's, but just Lowe's in general. Thank you. Thank you so much for seeing the need and saying I can help answer that. And also we had a presenting sponsor come forth with the big check. Somebody tell us about it.
We were there at Penn Air for our project half day, and they surprised us with the $10,000 sponsorship. So it's absolutely fantastic. Nobody was expecting it, but it certainly makes all the difference in the world to have a company like Penn Air to back us up and really be there to support us.
Right, that shows some great credibility, and that was a $10,000 for the presenting sponsorship opportunity. But we've got levels for all of you, and I don't care if you're an alumni and you just want to buy a t-shirt. If you want to donate $5, that $5 will mean something to that grieving child. We will find a place for it. We will provide meals for them. That'll be a decorative pillow. We will make sure every single penny that we are good stewards of that. And you can go to the chamber website and some other things. Kayla will give us instructions on how to donate. But we've got levels for $5,000, $1,000, $7,000. Sorry, I'm reading it wrong. So $10,000 was taken care of, then to $7,000, $5,000, $2,500, $1,000, and also just $500, which is an easy level to obtain, and that gets you some amenities to the ribbon cutting. For higher dollar amounts, you can get your logo on the mural, on the fits. Go ahead, sis. What all can they get?
Well, I'll be honest, I don't have each sponsorship level memorized, but there are definitely naming options available, and those are to be determined as we develop the project. The presenting sponsor gets a plaque. Like you mentioned, there are invitations to ribbon cuttings and other opportunities to be present for the families while we are working on the project. If you would like to donate, you can visit the Chamber of Commerce's website. We have a link up there. We also have Help Me Out Madrina.
I've written it down here because I got off the chamber. I just went to Pensacola Chamber, but our particular project is LEAP, L-E-A-P. That's short for Leadership Pensacola. LEAPclassproject.org. or www.leapforchangepensacola.org. You can also email leap at pensacolachamber.com, and the chamber can get you right. But like she said, there'll be amenities. We can get, if the right dollar amount, we can get you something commemorative there, maybe a bench, a brick, your name on the fence. We're open to ideas. If you have dollars and you have ideas that you want to contribute to this project, we want to hear from you.
Okay, and I will conclude by saying there's really no amount that's too small. As far as the scope of the project goes, you know, we always want to look to put Valerie's house in a good place. So I know we touched on some bigger elements as this is a construction project. Any, like, $5 helps. Anything can be put towards AstroTurf, which is a huge expense, or, you know, paint for the mural, the different things that Madrina has mentioned as well.
Okay. Mike, what would you like to say about our project and anyone that might be interested in helping out?
Yeah, I mean, Kayla said it best, no dollar amount is too small. I mean, honestly, you donate $5, I'll come give you a hug, just come find me. But seriously, I mean, it's every little bit makes all the difference in the world. I think about, you know, obviously my 7-month-old baby.
Yes.
If God forbid something were to happen to me or to my wife, having a place that we can go to be around other people who are going through the same things and knowing we're not alone, it's absolutely 100% a cause worth donating to.
Yeah. And also, if you're watching and you have turf connections, lighting connections, wood, grass, plants, paint,
Irrigation.
chalk, irrigation, tree removal, you name it. We're open to it. Lawn furniture. I know there's going to be viewers out there that are watching that say, you know what, I can donate $5 and we'll take it. And somebody else can say, I'll donate $5,000 and we'll take it. And somebody else that says, you know what, I got a nice rug or some nice outdoor furniture, anything. We have printing needs. I mean, Valerie's house is going to be around for a long time. She's really making a lot of traction in this community. And so we're proud as Leadership Pensacola members to support them. Less than a minute. Who wants to close us out?
Okay, I can do that.
I'm just putting them on the spot because this is not their day job, but go ahead, sis.
On that note, as important as it is to support our project, I think it's important to mention that Valerie's House also has an Amazon wish list. Ooh. So if you go to Amazon and search for Valerie's House, their wish list will pop up, and there's everything on there from craft supplies to basketballs to different things like that. So that would be a wonderful way to get back to them as well.
See, that was a perfect 1-minute wrap up. You got something out there amazing. But thank you. We hope that you join us with our Leap Outside project benefiting Valerie's House. And thank you for rolling with Madrina. Thanks, guys.
No
Thank
problem.
you.
Thank you for having us.
All right, aloha.